Alright, Bonehawks, this video is all about Mortal Kombat 1. This is the advanced guide. This is the end of the line for all of my beginner guides. I really appreciate you sticking it through, whether you've watched from Beginner Guide Part 1, or maybe this is just the first one. I'll link the playlist to the whole series at the end of this video, but thanks so much. Hopefully you've learned a lot. We're going to use everything that we've learned today to lab against Smoke. I'm going to teach you how I learned how to beat a character using all the information that we've gone through. So, that being said, let's get into it.
Accept your death.
So the first thing you should know using your frame data is punishes with your character, which moves you use to punish different attacks, and you should have a slow punish and a fast punish. So for Shang Tsung we can use either 1-2. With Young Shang we just get kind of a small combo like this, but it's 14%. Old Shang, we do something like this. And then most of our damage comes off of our slow punish, which is 13 frames, into our B&B. You've seen this before. At 38%. Knowing the startup on that, we want to go through and see what is punishable with Smoke first. So that's usually one of the first things I look at. And again, the frame data on this is kind of hit and miss, so maybe use the in-game. So this string here says it's minus 41. Let's test it. Good thing we did. It's minus 6. This one is minus 9, but I can tell by the first couple hits. I think there's an armor gap after the first one, so we're going to try that. Visually, you can usually see a gap. We can test it. We know we can do that by the last video that we did, using our cancel advantage and block advantage. Boom. There we go. That's just slight delay after the first hit. That is a high though, so just be aware of that. Alternatively, we can just block this low. However, there is a bit of pushback. I don't think Young Shang Tsung can reach here to punish. So his 2-1-2 string, I feel like maybe there's a gap on the last hit there. Let's test it and find out. Okay, so I've recorded Smoke. I use this a lot. Go to playback, recording 1, recording whatever you want to do. I prefer to have this reset on playback on, and then you just tap the right stick. That way they're not constantly doing it. They're just doing it when you want them to. And just as we thought, there is an armor gap on that slight delay on that third hit. But these are good things to know. You don't want to just kind of blow through armor everything every single time. But if someone's really abusing that, that's kind of a good way to get around that, or at least show them that, you know, I know there's a gap there, and they kind of adjust their gameplay accordingly. Now we have this string here. This is where we start getting our mix-ups, so overhead, low, mid. But I have noticed that the third hit does not come out on block. So if you block that, there's no mix-up on that third hit. That third hit only comes out if it hits us. So make sure not to get mixed by that. We can go into our big boy 13 frame punish on that because we're minus 15 to our full combo. So this low string is quite annoying, but it's very easy to kind of take your turn back. So you see a down 1 actually punishes him for this. He's minus 9. Our standing one is also 7 frames, but because the hitbox is so low, we can't actually hit him with it. So we have to actually do a down 1, and that down 1 will leave us at plus 16. And if you're coming from MK11, that game was very, very poke heavy. This game is not. Like, pokes are straight up punishable in this game. So just make sure that you're using them very sparingly and kind of when you really want to. And, you know, that kind of poke throw game isn't quite as prevalent because you can jail your lows into highs now, where that wasn't really the case in MK11. MKX was just kind of similar, not quite as extreme as this game as far as the poke situation goes, but just something to keep in mind that, like, if you hit a poke, absolutely make sure that you take your turn. Go into pressure or something. I see myself, I am guilty of this. I'll just poke immediately, just go into throw, just out of force of habit. But this game, your low pokes have such good hit advantage that you can jail them into all sorts of things now for way better pressure and way better options than you could before. Alright, so this is a string that's caused me a lot of problems fighting against Smoke. Is this low overhead string, especially because the low can be staggered. So if Smoke just does the low, he's only -5. So you can kind of try and bait the overhead a little bit because there is a punish opportunity there. You can either armor the gap, still take a little bit of damage, or the better option, but it is a bit of a risk. Both of these are risky because he could just bait the forward 3 and then you armor right into his face into a full combo punish. Alternatively, you can try and do an up lock on the overhead portion and that'll make him punishable. Once again, you want to hit your attack pretty much exactly as you up lock, maybe just a slight delay afterwards, otherwise you'll miss it. But again, that can be baited by Smoke with a forward 3 and then throw punish your up lock, so you kind of have to play that stagger game, and this is one of his stronger tools, I would say. Especially because Smoke doesn't have the greatest mids. All of his mids are slow or off the second hit of his strings, so he kind of has to rely on this forward 3 a lot. This is kind of where his pressure kind of falls apart, his teleport pressure and stuff. He can phase in and out, which we'll get to in a minute. But a lot of that stuff, if you just a well-timed poke, would be enough to just beat it. He's got the full completed string here, which is +2 on blocks. So say you don't react to the overhead in time. He's got another double overhead here. But with the leaping attacks, I've noticed a lot of leaping attacks. Raiden's got a similar thing. You can actually anti-air them out of that. There we go. This is another thing I'm noticing in this game that's different from previous iterations, is a lot of these combo strings have high attacks. So for example, this string with Smoke, he kind of grabs you at the end and stabs you a couple times. That's actually a high attack, so we can duck this and stand up with a well-timed punish. Well, these are the kind of things you want to look for. And again, in the moves list, it usually does give you a description of what move actually is if I choose the right character. So yeah, block type high. And of course, you can always have it on screen. It tells you whether it's a high as well. So in his special moves, we're starting with Shadow Blade. This one's unblockable. Looks like it's meant to hit in the air, quite obviously. So just be aware. It looks like a pretty good anti-air option from like mid-screen plus. Be careful when jumping around against Smoke. Smoke Bomb is his armored move. Regular one just gives him an overhead. Let's just test how negative that overhead is. He's -14, so that's a little tight for our big boy punish. So to be safe, I would probably just use your quick punish on this one. It's always better to get some damage than no damage at all. We would get a little bit of chip if we just kind of went into this on block, but it would be much better to get something that's more of along the lines of a combo, even if it's something like 18% or something like that. And the same goes for when you're doing your big combos too. Like if you have a really big combo that has like one super complicated part in it, it's better to kind of shorten that, because if you drop it and risk losing a whole bunch of damage, it's better to do a shortened combo and get more damage than risk dropping a combo and getting less damage. So just something to keep in mind. Alright, so his enhanced Smoke Bomb. So this is his armored move, and it launches behind him. See if we can hit him when he lands. We can't. Blocking for a certain period. Ooh, we hit him out of the air though. Maybe we can anti-air him. Aha! There you go. So if you can react to this, jump up, smack him out of the air. Otherwise, he's going to be behind you, and he's going to be invisible. Now this is also his wake-up attack, so let's see if maybe we can stuff it, because it does look like it's a little slow. Alright, so we've set him to get up reversal. Oh, the old 1-2. Hits him out of it. And that's not even one of the faster strings in the game. So I imagine that you want to be careful with Smoke using this wake-up, unless you get beat out of it quite often. So the Vicious Vapors is the move that I've seen Smoke players do the most. It is unsafe on block, but he can cancel it. Keep that in mind. Doesn't seem to use any meter either. That's really good. But this is kind of where things get a little crazy, because, like I was saying, his lack of a good mid outside of down 1 and forward 3 makes this pressure kind of hard because he's going into highs. Or slower moves. So generally speaking, and this is very, very generally, You kind of just want to poke when you see him do his cancel. Try to steal your turn back. You may get hit by the full Vicious Vapors attack if they don't cancel it. I mean, then it's minus 16. That's a pretty big risk. But that's kind of what I've seen this character is like he is big risk reward. You know, he gets big combo damage from mix-ups and pressure and all sorts of things. But a lot of it is kind of like hard commit kind of stuff. And as long as you're ready with the punish, it's not really that scary. And I believe he's meant to be a little bit confusing. So if you get like all this kind of smoke teleport nonsense going on, it can be a little bit overwhelming. Things like that. Teleporting around the map. This is highly punishable, by the way. But it does have a weird kind of block animation. He kind of flies up into the air, and then he lands on the ground. So just give it a second to make sure that you get a grounded punish, because you're going to get more damage off of that. Into our full combo punish. That was pretty easy, but I don't think smoke players are going to just kind of throw that out all willy-nilly. Maybe they do. Well, I don't know. But the ones that I've seen have been very strategic with it, and they've kind of been just throwing it into their pressure and kind of as a last resort kind of a thing. You can do this move in the air, and this is where I've seen it have a little bit more success, trying to like bait an anti-air or an air-to-air or something like that. Hitting it that way, but it's the exact same frames, still punishable, so just be aware of that. He can cancel his teleport too. We see there is 28 recovery frames, which is actually quite fast, especially if we're not sure if he's going to come out the other side and smack us there. So he can get some pretty crazy pressure going. And it's not even like plus on block pressure, it's just guessing what his next move is going to be. So we've labbed all our options against smoke. We've gone through his strings. We've found out what's safe, what's kind of gimmicky, kind of his pressure situation, all of his special moves, that kind of thing. I want to leave you with a set that I played against the smoke in Kombat League. It was a really fun, entertaining set. I feel like I used a lot of the tools that we talked about in this video in that match. With that said, I hope this series has really helped you out. I've had a lot of fun making it. I love teaching this kind of stuff. And as always, if you have any questions, you can let me know down in the comments. But I'll leave you with this set. And I've now armed you with all the knowledge that you have to go out and be good at Mortal Kombat 1. You have graduated from Dink University. Well done. Diplomas in the mail. That kind of stuff. Appreciate you. Enjoy the matches, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, smoke. Time to guess.
Take one. Action.
Risky. Risky again. Oh, Cyrax to cover. Okay. Next.
It's not just smoke and mirrors.
Action.
Hey, yo, you that YouTuber, right?
Oh no! Staggers.
Final take. Action.
I shouldn't have done that. Damage. Protect. My wake-ups have not been working. Must adapt. Nice. Yeah, I kind of gave my thoughts at the end of the story mode there. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen that video yet or is interested in it, but Yeah, and
Take one. Action.
visible zoning. Yo, what up, Koala? Yo, just get good. I see you over there playing Street Fighter. Not gonna get better playing Havoc. No practice. Lost frames. Kind of mix in the two, you know?
Shang Tsung wins.
Hey, I've been wanting that background. Shujinko. Let's go. Oh, I see, I see.
Take one.
The OS. Nice back escape. So predictable.
Just pathetic.
Yo, drummer, what up? Took your advice to the YouTube stream. Unsafe AF. Unless we throw Shujinko out there. Oh, we traded. I still got frickin' yeeted. Yeah, I'm gonna save my meter for the next round.
Not fun being hunted.
Yo, Derek, what's happening?
Action.
That I did. Holy smokes. Okay, camera didn't know what was going on there. Get it all in the teleport. Okay, cool.
Wins.
Shang Wang. Ding a ding dong.
Take one. Action.
There's got to be a way for Cyrax to keep him safe there. Jinko carries. I haven't really used him in this matchup yet. Oh, I actually dropped that. Oh, are you kidding me? GG's.
Brutality. Shang Tsung wins.
Cigarettes?
Accept your death.